Okay. Let's talk about exponents. We're going to just review what exponents are and the rules that you need to follow when you're dealing with exponents in your equations. Okay, now does anybody remember how to read this expression right here, this term? 5 to the third power, or 5 to the power of 3, some people might say. So the whole thing together is called a power. We know that the 5 is called the base, and the 3 is called the exponent. Now, what does this mean? If I were to actually evaluate this particular term, what value would it be equal to? Anybody remember? This does not mean 5 times 3. It means 5 times 5 times 5. Okay? So your brain wants to say 5 times 3, but you need to punch your brain in the head, and you need to say, okay, this is 5 times 5 times 5. Write it down so that you do it correctly, because your brain is going to want to go 15. But what is the real answer? 125, okay? So remember, just write it down. Just write down the meaning. 125 is what 5 to the third power is, because it's 5 times 5 times 5. We're just taking 125 and writing it in what we call exponential form, because this is an exponent here. Now, let's talk about the laws of exponents, because they have their own laws. Exponential form, that's when the exponent of a power indicates how many times the base will be multiplied by itself. You don't take the base and multiply it by the exponent. You take the base and you write it down as many times as the exponent indicates, and then you multiply that expression. So, if I have some base, which is x, and the exponent is n, I'm going to write x down as many times as n is, and then multiply it. So, in our example that we had a base of 5 with an exponent of 3. So that means I'm going to take 5 3 times, and it's going to be multiplied by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. Do not let your brain do